Hello. Welcome to another episode of the
Latin
Latin
Voices.
Voices. Happy and blessed Thursday to everyone, or happy and blessed Friday if you're already on Friday. So let's find out what is our topic for today.
Our topic for today Latin Voices is why lifelong learning may be one of the greatest investments you can make. So if you think about this, stay with us.
Thank you, Jesse. So that's what we're going to be talking today. But before we dive into our topic, let's introduce ourselves. So, hi everyone. My name is Sandy. I'm originally from Panama, but currently reside in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. I also work in the movie industry, and I'm a proud digital business owner and mentor.
Hello. Hi, everyone. My name is Yesenia, but everyone knows me as Jessie. I'm a nurse by profession. I live here in Ontario, Canada, but I'm original from Cuba. I also have my business online and I'm a mentor.
Hello, everyone. My name is Isabel. I'm originally from Mexico, now residing in North Carolina. I am a wife, a mother, a grandmother, and a former educational assistant, and now a proud digital business owner and mentor.
Thank you, girls. So, now let's dive into our topic for today.
Okay, so we will be discussing about why lifelong learning may be one of the greatest investments that we can make.
Yes, thank you, Jesse. So that's what we're going to be talking today. So let's dive in. So welcome back to another episode of the Latin Voices, and happy and blessed Thursday for those who are on Thursday. Happy and blessed Friday for those who are enjoying the Friday. So today we're talking about a habit that has transformed countless of lives, and that is, the lifelong learning. So the world is constantly changing. We can see that new technologies have emerged, and also new opportunities have appeared because of the technology. But at the same time, new challenges have arisen. So the people who continue to growing are often those people who continue to learning. So today we'll discuss three reasons why lifelong learning may be one of the greatest investments that you can make, especially on these days. So let's see what points are going to be talking about this.
Okay, so we have 3 points. The first one, lifelong learning helps us adapt to change. Number two, learning expands opportunities. And number three, lifelong learning keeps personal growth alive.
Thank you so much. So that's what we're going to be talking today. So now let's dive into our first point.
Okay, so lifelong learning helps us adapt to change. When I look back at my journey, I realized something very powerful. Nothing in life stays the same. Life changes, work changes, technology changes, and sometimes it changes faster than we feel ready for, right? There were moments in my own journey or my own story when I had to start over again, learn new skills, and step into spaces where I didn't feel fully prepared. And I won't lie, at times it felt overwhelming. But I discovered something that changed everything for me. Learning is not just something we do in school, it's something we do throughout life. It's something we do to survive, to grow, and to move forward. As an immigrant, as a mother, and as a working woman, I had to learn how to adapt constantly. And every time I chose to learn instead of fear, um, to the unknown, right? I became more confident, more capable, and more open to new opportunities. Because the truth is, those who keep learning are the ones who keep moving forward when everything around us is shifting. And in today's world, adaptability is not optional anymore. It's one of the moves or the most valuable skills we can develop. We have to be able to adapt to the everyday changes that come in life. It's not always what we already know that carries us forward. It's our willingness to keep learning that really keeps us going. So, learning keeps us flexible, confident, and ready for the role that never stops changing. And today, I want to leave you with this. with this question. What is one new skill or lesson you could commit to learning this week that could open new doors for your future? Thank you.
Thank you, Isabel. So we do have a comment here from Elvira Fernandez Vilaware. She say, "Hello, ladies, watching live from BC, Canada." Thank you, Elvira. Thank you for watching. And she also sent
Hello.
like emoji. And she also says, "So true, Isabel. Learning is a continuous, ongoing process." Yeah. Thank you for your
Thank you,
comment.
Vera.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Isabel just talked about lifelong learning help us adapt to change. So, and we see that because the more we are willing to keep learning, the more confident, the more flexible, and the more prepared we become to navigate, for example, the new challenges and opportunities in a continuous changing world that we live. Isabel also added, "It's not always what we already know that carries us forward; it's our willingness to keep learning." So there you go. So now we're moving to the next point.
So learning expand opportunity. New knowledge create new possibility. Learning often expose us to new ideas and new perspective. New skill can create opportunities we never expect. So growth frequently begins with curiosity. The more we learn, the more possibility that we can recognize. Many opportunities become visible only after we expand our perspective. So learning helps us to see possibilities that were previously hidden. And this is so important, guys. Sometimes it's not like, oh, I don't have the knowledge, or I feel like dumb. Sorry for the word, but sometimes it's just because we don't know. Like we need, if we don't have that learning, we don't have that knowledge, of course we don't know. So many people are waiting, for the perfect opportunity to come their way, but often those opportunity don't appears, they grow come first. Every time you learn a new skill, you have to learn, you have to gain knowledge or develop, a new perspective, work on your mindset, and that way you can increase your ability to recognize and take advantage of the opportunities that now you know because you are learning. So that because before they were unnoticed, so didn't know because you didn't know. So the truth is the world is changing faster than ever, and those who we are, like, we are willing to learn, adapt and grow. We are often the ones, who discovers those new paths, the new careers, the new connections, the new possibilities, as a skill. You learn, like, you learn a skill today, and that skill can create an opportunity tomorrow. A book you read today, a course that you take, a conversation that you have with someone, you share your knowledge in a topic, that can change completely the direction of your future. That's why lifelong learning is not an expense, it's an investment in yourself. The more you learn, the more options, you can create, and that the more opportunities you create, the more control you have on your future. So I would say, yes, invest in yourself. That's you. Everyone will tell you, you're supposed to invest on you first, and investing on yourself, and so you can be able to see these opportunities and you can learn, is the best gift that you can give yourself.
Thank you, Jesse. So yeah, so Jesse just talk about learning, expand opportunities, because every new skill, just like Jesse mentioned, new skill, new idea, and perspective, it will help us to recognize those possibilities that we might never ever seen before, if we didn't have that learning or if we didn't keep learning. Um, okay, so let's move on to the next point. Okay, so the next point is lifelong learning keeps personal growth alive. So one of the greatest lessons I learned is that learning doesn't stop when school ends. It continues throughout life, just like Isabel mentioned earlier. In my own journey, after spending more than 25 years in the film industry, I chose to learn something completely new. I had to develop digital skills, improve my communication, grow as a leader, and become comfortable with technology I had never used before. That decision didn't just help me professionally, it also transformed me personally. It gave me more confidence, strengthened my mindset, and reminded me that we are never too old to learn or to grow. So when we remain lifelong learners, we keep our mind active, our curiosity alive, and our potential expanding. So the people who continue growing are often the people who never stop learning. So here is the message for you guys. Lifelong learning helps us continue becoming a better version of ourselves because every new lesson is an opportunity to grow in confidence, wisdom, and possibility. So that's the message for that. And Jesse also added new technology, sorry, the more you learn, the more options you create. And the more options you create, the more control you have over your future. So invest in yourself. Um, okay, so, oh, sorry, I didn't put my picture. well, so that was my point before. So now let's move on to the key takeaway for this topic.
Okay, one thing we know for certain is that growth never has an expiration date. There's always something new to learn, a new skill, a new lesson, a new perspective, and a new opportunity. And while we cannot always control what happens around us, we can continue investing in ourselves because one of the few investments that we can benefit every area of life is that investment we make in learning.
Thank you, Isabel. So yeah, so that's our key takeaway for this topic. And now let's find out what is our reflective question for the audience.
So reflect on this. Um, Ask yourself, what is one skill, one topic, or one area of personal growth you would like to learn more about it during like next year? You know, sometimes one new lesson can change the direction of your future.
Yes, thank you, Jessie. So that's a reflective question for the audience. So we have arrived to the end of our lives. So we hope so that what we share today will help you, to understand, why continuous learning, help us to keep growing. So um, every time life like a every time the lifelong learning is a one of the greatest investments, especially that you can make for yourself, because every new skill, like we mentioned today, you develop, or every lesson you embrace, and every perspective you gain from learning, from experiences from other people, it prepares you for greater opportunities, and it helps you become the best version of yourself. So that's why it's important to keep learning, and so never stop learning, after school. So let's find out what is our topic for next Thursday.
Yeah, next Thursday, we're going to be back with Latin Voices, and our topic will be why consistency often matters more than motivation.
Thank you, Isabel. Yeah, so that's our topic for next Thursday. So it will be a conversation about habits, discipline, momentum, and why some small daily actions often can create the biggest long-term results. So there you go. So that's it for today. So we want to wish everyone a happy and blessed Thursday for those who are on Thursday, and a happy and blessed Friday for those who are on Friday, and a happy and blessed weekend ahead for everyone. So thank you again for being here with us today, and we'll see you again in our next episode of the Latin.
Latin Voices.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone.
Adiós, mi gente. Bye.
Bye bye.